After going through this video, you will be able to explain variables, assign a value to a variable, list down different types of values a variable can store. In this video, we will learn the basic elements of PHP like any other programming language, that is, variables and operators. Let's start with variables first. In PHP, a variable starts with a dollar symbol, followed by its name. For example, $A, $str, etc. A variable name can consist of alphanumeric characters and underscore. A variable name must start with either an alphabet or underscore. It cannot start with a number. It cannot have any special characters like hash, exclamation, hyphen, and even dollar, except for in the beginning. Lastly, variable names are case sensitive. $small a and $capital A are both different variables. Here, we have very few variables. Can you guess which are PHP variables and which are not? Remember, a variable starts with a dollar sign. $1 is not a variable as its name starts with a number. $ABC is a variable as it starts with an alphabet. $_1 is again a variable as it starts with an underscore. $str23 is also a variable as it is alphanumeric. $-ABC is not a variable as it has a special character. Now coming to the last option, $. Some of you might think this to be a variable as it starts with a dollar sign, but this is not a variable as it has again a special character $, which is not accepted. Let us now see how we can assign a value to a variable. Variables are assigned values using the equal to operator, where on the left side we have the name of the variable and on the right side it can be a value or an expression. In PHP, we can directly assign a variable with a value without having to declare it first. Like in this case, we have assigned the variable a value of 5 before declaring first that a is a variable. PHP is a loosely typed language, which means we do not need to specify the data type of variables, unlike other languages such as C and C++. Let us understand why. Here, we have defined the value of variables as 5, which is an integer, but in code, we have not specified the data type of a. If we replace the integer with a string value like hello world, the PHP will recognize it as a valid value where we have not specified any data type. In case you are wondering what a string is, it is simply a sequence of characters. We can even replace the value of a variable with a different data type. Let's say we have a variable a whose value is 5. Now here, the data type is integer. But if we redefine the value of a variable as a string, the variable automatically gets converted to the correct data type. This means the value of a variable is now hello world and the data type is string. Let's now see what values a variable can store. As discussed earlier in the video, a variable can store integer and string values. An integer is a non-decimal number, whereas a string is a sequence of characters. Next, we can add a float value. A float value is a number in decimal form or in exponential form. For example, 3.14 is a float value. Then we can have a Boolean value which can either be true or false. For example, is Delhi the capital of India? Its answer will be a Boolean value that can only be true or false. Next, we have an array which is used to store multiple values of the same data type in one variable. Example, here we have the name of the array as names, which has the values Bill, Steve, Mark and Larry. Next we have object, which is one of the aspects of object-oriented programming or OOPS. We don't need to discuss this in detail as it is beyond the scope of this training. Lastly, we have a null value which means nothing. So this is all about variables in this video. In the next video, we will discuss operators in PHP.